Hey, ladies and gentlemen, thanks once again for joining me. I am your host, Derek Lane, another edition of the Fast Lane Podcast for Success. Hey, wanted to throw an idea at you, something to think about, something to ponder, and that is your autobiography. If you were to write an autobiography of you, obviously, what would it look like? What are the things that you would include? See, I encourage everyone to take reflection, to take time to think about what their life has looked like up to this point. What has their life looked like? And can you be objective enough in your life to talk about your successes, to talk about your failures, your challenges, your triumphs? Can you sit down and write? And you don't have to really write a full onslaught biography, but I'm just talking about sitting down and maybe jotting out and outlining what your autobiography would look like. See, what this does is gives you a little more clarity about your mindset, about who you are and where you're going. And this is the purpose of this, is where we're going from that, what we've learned from our past. Because it doesn't matter, well, I guess it matters a little bit, but by and large, it doesn't matter where we've been, only where we're going. Because our idea is to consistently grow, to consistently be the person that we're striving to be, the better person. So you don't have to let your past haunt you. You don't have to say, well, that's who I am. That's what I've did. And I've done things that I'm not proud of. I've done things that I regret. I've hurt people in the past, maybe intentionally, maybe unintentionally, but that's not where you want to be in the future. You don't have to continue that path. You don't have to continue the path of regret and shame. Writing your autobiography also allows you to see your best moments of who you are, and allows you to realize that you can continue those best moments. You can continue to progress as a human being on an enlightened path, on an enlightened journey. And all of the things that you've done that are positive can be replicated and duplicated because it's in you. So think about where you have been in your autobiography. Think about where you want to go in your next chapter, in the future autobiography. So you don't have to wait until you're at the end of your life to have an autobiography. You can have an autobiography if you're 5 years old, 10 years old, 20, whatever the case may be. You just summarize your life to this point. Okay, so the next exercise I want you to realize is I want you to think about your biography, not your autobiography. I want you to think about your life from a third-person perspective, from someone else's perspective. How would they write your life out to this point? Your failures, your successes, your perceived successes, the things that other people would say about you that you wouldn't say about yourself. Good and bad. Because you have to be honest. In order for this exercise to work, you have to be honest with yourself. So it's kind of an internal, external view of your life up to this point. You write it out, and then you can compare, you can contrast to how you see yourself and how others see yourself. And you may even ask, you may even get help and research for your biography, friends and family. Okay, unlike the times that I've told you when you sit down and you ask and share dreams and goals, perspectives with other people, I tell you always to make sure that it's like-minded folks, that people that share the positive and that are not always, poo-pooing your idea. Well, it's okay to get all perspectives within your biography. Because if someone has, an idea or a time frame that you weren't at your best, and they're willing to share that, then it's okay to reflect on it. Just know that it's not you now. Hopefully it's not you now. Because we've all done things that, again, we're not particularly proud of. And maybe it was incidental. Maybe it was something that it was never meant to be harmful. However, it turned out to be that way unintentionally. We get that. I get that. You get that. So you learn from that. That's what they call teaching moments, right? Okay, so we learn from those experiences that are not so good. But again, we learn from the experiences that are positive. So the exercise here is if you find someone that's willing to say, hey, yeah, I'll tell you a little bit about how I perceive you, and you can write that down. And they may give you ideas and things that you didn't think of in your autobiography in the positive manner. They may say, hey, I really appreciate and respect that you're able to mentor people, and you always see the bright side of things, and you're always there and helping people. And you may go, wow, I never really thought of myself that way. I never really thought that I was that person that projected that positive spin on everything. That's really enlightening to me, and that is the exercise. That is what you're encouraged to find out about yourself, is that those things that other people find that are positive about you that you didn't realize. So it's a good exercise for you to think about who you are. Internally, externally, who you are. So what do you do with this information? Once you garner this information, you write it down and maybe you reflect on it. Maybe you put it aside for a week, a day, or a month, whatever, that you can go back to. And you can say, what am I doing with this information? Well, that's totally up to you. Again, I'm suggesting this as a way for you to understand a little bit more about yourself. I'm suggesting this in a manner that allows you to find out a little bit more about yourself. Maybe that you're kind of hiding from yourself. Maybe that you're suppressing. We all have the certain aspects that we suppress from ourselves and from other folks. There's the saying that in psychology, the saying that is, if they ever find out what I did, I'll be in trouble. If they ever find out. And it kind of goes back to that imposter theory, because it's maybe not negative. Maybe it's positive, and yet it feels like you're undeserving of it. Yeah, I did something really good, but, that was just a fluke. That's not really me. Well, you did it. It was you. It was good. Or it was bad. It was really you. Whatever it is. Again, the point of this exercise is to build on the positives. And it's to realize and eliminate and not dwell and live in the past. To not have those negative emotions and feelings. Regret, shame, doubt. All of those negatives that are festering, bubbling up, and starts to rule your life, starts to make decisions for you. It's for you to realize you don't have to let that happen. It's for you to realize that that's not you. You're not that person. You don't have to allow the negative and the dark side, the ugly side, to ever run your life, to ever be a part of who you are. Again, forgive yourself. Let things go. Let the positive energies around you and the person that you know you truly are, your want and desires, your needs, your internal core beliefs of positive feelings and love that you want to display every day. And sometimes you get caught up and you allow other people to trigger the junk in you. That's kind of what I call it, the junk in you, the stuff that is like, there it is again. It cropped up, it got out. It's the little gremlin in me that surfaced up and got out. That's junk. That's crap. Because the real person in you, you want to show your enlightenment and teach your enlightenment, or at least project the track that you're on to become enlightened. And that's what the exercise overall is meant to do. It's meant to help you gain control of your path. Gain control of where you want to be, the things you want to do, the person, that the positive, brilliant white light inside of you that's ready to shine. So just think about it. Just think about this whole exercise and think about maybe what benefits you can garner from this exercise. I personally find that it's a very enlightening, detailed experience that you can use and you can help others use. You can help others by simply telling them about this podcast and other podcasts like it that help you. I am not here to talk about how we dwell and push you toward that darkness, that ugliness. I want to bring you out of that. If you have it, you may not have it. You may be, and I hope that's great. But I think everybody's got a little bit of that dark seed. It doesn't have to be the way we live. It's not going to be. It's not going to be the way I live. I don't do that. I realize who I am. I realize that my intentions and my goals are stronger than any of the garbage and junk that beholds me into my past. And I'm not going to allow that to crop up again, ever. Ever. We're going to move forward. We're going to do great things. Greatness is within all of us. We just have to make that decision that that's who we are. We have to make the decision that we are greatness. And then go on to display it. Then go on to say, I'm going to help you display your greatness. And we can do it. So share this podcast, and positive comments, positive views. Share it with anybody and everybody you think that could get just an iota, a smidgen of something that makes you go, oh yeah, I like that. I like that. Share that and tell them, hey, listen to this podcast. And what I found at around the 7.5 minute mark was something very profound, or whatever, 2 minute mark, 10 minute mark, whatever. But that's what we do. That's what we do to help each other. Okay, that's what we do to help our society, the world we live in, the things that matter to us. So, listen, you can find the Fast Lane Podcast for Success on all of the major outlets. So when someone says, where can I find it? Say, well, where do you listen to your podcast? Just go there and find it. You can reach me with ideas. You can talk about any of the podcasts. You can ask me questions about certain ideas within